Today we journey into the life, dreams, and untold story of Muammar Gaddafi, a man loved by some, hated by others, but impossible to ignore. To the West, he was a dictator. To many Africans, he was a hero, a visionary, and a symbol of resistance. But who was he really, and why does his dream of a united Africa still echo today? Muammar Gaddafi was born in 1942 in a simple Bedouin tent in the harsh desert of Sirte, Libya. His family was poor, and life was a daily struggle for survival. He grew up herding goats under the scorching sun, sleeping beneath the stars, and living without electricity or formal schooling. Despite these hardships, young Gaddafi was deeply influenced by the ideas of Arab nationalism, particularly the revolutionary visions of Egypt's Gamal Abdel Nasser, who inspired him to think beyond his small village. At just 27 years old, Gaddafi carried out a bloodless coup in 1969, overthrowing King Idris and proclaiming the birth of the Libyan Arab Republic. Overnight, the world witnessed the rise of a young, bold leader, full of ambition and daring ideas. At the time, Libya was one of Africa's poorest nations, relying heavily on agriculture and limited trade. But the discovery and control of oil wealth transformed the country under Gaddafi's leadership. He introduced free healthcare and education, built infrastructure including roads, schools, and housing, and implemented large-scale agricultural projects to turn desert lands into productive farmland. Among his most ambitious achievements was the Great Man-Made River, the world's largest irrigation system which transported fresh water across the desert, nourishing cities and farms alike. Within a few decades, Libya became one of Africa's richest nations, boasting the highest human development index on the continent. Gaddafi's policies were radical, ensuring that ordinary Libyans benefited directly from the nation's wealth, rather than leaving it in the hands of a privileged elite. But Gaddafi's ambitions did not stop at Libya's borders. He envisioned a United States of Africa, a continent with one government, one army, and one currency. He believed that true freedom for Africa could only come from breaking dependence on Western financial systems and ending colonial influence. To this end, he proposed a gold-backed African currency, designed to replace the US dollar and euro in trade. This bold idea challenged the global economic order and alarmed world powers. Imagine a continent trading its resources, oil, gold, and minerals, using its own currency. The balance of global power could have shifted dramatically. Gaddafi also invested heavily in African development, funding telecommunications networks, banks, and infrastructure projects across the continent. He played a central role in establishing the African Union in 2001, an institution aimed at uniting African nations and promoting collective self-reliance. Many African leaders admired him as a man who could help the continent achieve true independence, while ordinary citizens often saw him as a champion of African dignity and sovereignty. However, Gaddafi was not without flaws. He ruled with an iron fist, silencing political opposition and limiting freedom of expression. Critics accused him of human rights abuses, corruption, and fostering a cult of personality. Internationally, he was linked to rebel movements and terrorist attacks, most notably the 1988 Lockerbie bombing. These actions led to Libya's isolation and harsh sanctions, which stunted international trade and relations. To some, he was a revolutionary hero, to others a dangerous dictator. In 2011, amidst the Arab Spring, protests erupted in Libya demanding political change. NATO and Western powers intervened under the pretext of protecting civilians. What followed was widespread destruction. NATO bombing campaigns targeted key infrastructure including bridges, power plants, and government buildings. Rebels advanced through major cities, eventually capturing Gaddafi in his hometown of Sirte. On October 20, 2011, he was brutally killed, ending 42 years of rule. But the story did not end there. Libya, once stable and wealthy, descended into civil war, chaos, and fragmentation. Rival militias and governments fought for control, leaving the country divided. Many Libyans now ask, was Libya truly better off without him? In the years since Gaddafi's death, the nation has struggled to rebuild, showing the fragility of political systems without strong leadership, even if controversial. So, who was Muammar Gaddafi? A dictator who suppressed dissent? A revolutionary who empowered his people and challenged colonial influence? A visionary who sought to unite Africa but was thwarted by global powers? Perhaps he was all of these things, a man whose complexity cannot be reduced to simple labels. One truth stands out: Gaddafi's dream of African unity, independence, and strength continues to inspire many across the continent. His vision reminds us that history is rarely black and white. Leaders can be both flawed and visionary, and the consequences of global politics often reach far beyond borders. Gaddafi's life also serves as a cautionary tale, that ambition, power, and ideals can clash violently with the interests of more powerful nations. His legacy is debated, his achievements celebrated by some and condemned by others, yet his vision for a united Africa remains a powerful symbol of hope for those who dare to imagine a continent free from external domination. Thank you for watching. If this video opened your eyes to hidden truths, share and subscribe for more untold stories, deep insights into history, politics, and the forces that shape our world.